Welcome into another video in my series where we're going through every single weapon inside of Modern Warfare 3 to see just how viable they are for your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. This is going to include the Aftermarket parts, the Aftermarket conversion kits, and the MW2 weapons. So if you guys are new around here and you like to see how weapons perform inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out any future uploads from myself on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. As well, down below in the description you will find the link for my streams where I stream custom zombies and other zombie related games, and it'd be a ton of fun to have you guys come hang out. Now with Season 3 Reloaded, they did update our stash and increased it to 20. So this is my current stash and what it looks like. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys and your stash looks like. Now today's weapon is the finishing off of the series of doing weapons reviews on the Kastov platform. So today's weapon, we're going to be going through all three zones, taking on bounties all the way through, and we're going to be looking at an assault rifle from MW2, the Kastov 74U. And I really think this weapon was awesome and it was good fun to use, so make sure you guys stick through the whole video to find out how it performs through all three zones inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So without further ado, let's get to the Kastov 74U review video today. Alright, so welcome into another video in our series testing out weapons and how they perform inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Today, we're taking a look at an MW2 assault rifle, the Kastov 74U, and we've got the brand new Veterans Event camo on there, which I think looks absolutely amazing, and I do have a soft spot for animated camos for sure. So when we spawn in and we're doing these weapon testing videos, the first thing we put on is just our perks with no additions to the weapon to make it any stronger at all, aside from, of course, using Deadshot, which I use every game. So now we spawn in and it was time to go off and find ourselves our first bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1. Which was a little bit challenging. They weren't exactly close by, so I was hoping to find something really close. That one over there looked like players were about to grab it. So it took a minute to find some bounty contracts inside of Tier 1. I think this is still a bit of a leftover from the event when you needed to complete 25 contracts. So I believe that still some of the community is still out there trying to unlock and complete that challenge, which was part of the reason why it was a bit of a challenge for me to find a bounty contract inside Tier 1 today. I'm not sure, that could be the reason, that maybe not. But anyway, we picked up our first bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1, and it is a Mimic, and we were taking on the Mimic here. We got white rarity, like I said, no pack-a-punch, and no weapon rarity on the Kastov 74U at all. And I could already tell that Kastov 74U, like the rest of the Kastov platform, the 545, definitely do really well. I'm seeing some serious critical damage to the Mimic here in Tier 1 at white rarity, which was good to see. Led me to believe that this weapon was going to be something that was going to be viable going forward, for sure. So you can see here we're able to finish off the Mimic right here. And you can see the critical damage when you're able to hit the critical shots in Tier 1 with blue rarity on the Kastov 74U is definitely something that is viable for sure. It's definitely something that you can do if you're in Tier 1. Maybe you just started the game, you don't have any perks or anything like that. You can definitely run this inside of Tier 1, white rarity, and you guys will be able to take on contracts, HVTs, and of course the zombies in Tier 1 definitely won't be an issue at all. So the next thing to do was to go off and find our pack-a-punch machine inside of Tier 1 and take the Kastov 74U to Pack 1. But I did want to make sure I meleeed the machine because I really enjoy this Veterans camo they had for the event. I think it's really awesome. So we went and meleeed the machine to make sure we keep the camo on, and then pack-a-punch the Kastov 74U to Pack 1. Went and picked up another bounty inside of Tier 1, and this time we got a Mangler to deal with. And I wanted to go see how this Mangler does compared to the Mimic, in that we are still white rarity. Again, no ammo tools, like no extra weapon rarity to increase the damage. It's just Pack 1 with white rarity, and I was able to make fairly easy work of that Mangler bounty contract inside of Tier 1. So that is definitely exciting to see. Like Pack 1, right rarity, and this weapon was already doing work, so that was good to see. So now it was time to throw on a Napalm Burst and Legendary Tool and go and find ourselves another bounty contract inside of Tier 1 and see just how much of a difference this is being Pack 1, Legendary with Napalm Burst, and just how much faster we should be able to almost instant delete a bounty contract inside of Tier 1. So as you can see, it took a hot minute to find myself a bounty contract on the TAC map there, but we did manage to make one, find one over there. We went and picked it up, and it was another Mimic. So now we're going to go look at a Mimic bounty contract inside of Tier 1, Pack 1, Legendary with Napalm Burst, and this is where I had a feeling this was going to be something that was going to be viable for us to use going into the higher threat level zones. As Tier 1, Pack 1, Legendary with Napalm, it was almost an instant delete on that Mimic. So at this point, I'm really excited to head off into Tier 2, grab a bounty contract, and see what Pack 1 Legendary with Napalm Burst on the Kastov 74U can do to a bounty contract inside Tier 2, being Pack 1, not Pack 2, and we got a Disciple, and yay, I absolutely hate Disciples. But you can see the critical damage that the Kastov 74U was doing to the Disciple here was definitely awesome to see. Like, it is viable at Pack 1 inside of Tier 2 to deal with the Disciple, which is not exactly the most common thing to see with weapons. I feel like some of the weapons Pack 1 inside of Tier 2 dealing with a bounty contract can be a little bit weak, take a lot of rounds to deal with the Disciples. So seeing the Kastov 74U perform as well as it did here against this Disciple bounty contract inside of Tier 2, being only Pack 1 Legendary, I was really excited. Like, I wanted to see what difference it would make going to Pack 2 inside of Tier 2 to grab a bounty contract, because I feel like if it just instant deletes a Tier 2 bounty contract at Pack 2, then this is definitely something that we can run inside of Tier 3 for sure. So it was time to grab another bounty contract inside of Tier 2 after pack-a-punching the Kastov 74U to Pack 2. So we did that, got ourselves a Mangler bounty contract, and went and saw him inside of Tier 2. And holy, just look at that damage. I don't really have to say much. You guys can see just how strong that Kastov 74U is, double pack-a-punched with Legendary and Napalm Burst on it. Definitely, for sure, very strong. So the next thing to do is to head to Tier 3. Got to ping our Wonder Fizz machine to go grab our perks. Throw on my PAP 3 crystal that I brought into the game, so we have the Kastov 74U to max damage, PAP 3, Legendary with Napalm Burst, pick up the last of our perks inside of Tier 3, and it was time to go grab a bounty contract inside of Tier 3 and see what the Kastov 74U max damage can do to a bounty contract inside of Tier 3. And we got my least favorite contract to do inside of Tier 3 in one of the busiest areas, I think, inside of Tier 3, a Disciple. Yay! Now here you can see the damage is not that great, but I do want to point out that I was shooting the Disciple from behind. If you shoot him in the face, you get more critical damage on your shots. So that's what I was doing. I was trying to focus on his face, but the first shots there were just into the back of his head, so it wasn't doing as much critical damage as I feel like I could have. But I definitely wanted to show you guys the majority of this fight to show you how well the Kastov 74U performs inside of Tier 3. You know, while you have all the zombies, the sprinters, armored zombies, dogs coming at you while you're trying to deal with your bounty contract inside of Tier 3, does the Kastov 74U with triple pack punch, Legendary, and Napalm, how does it perform for crowd control? And I have to say, I was pretty impressed. Like, it's definitely strong. It definitely dishes out the damage in a hurry, and you can see here when we're hitting the critical shots on our Disciple bounty contract that we're definitely able to do some serious damage to the Disciple, which was awesome to see. I actually got downed right here trying to climb over that pile of sandbags there, which I wasn't prepared for that, but it was all right. We picked up a self-revive earlier in the run, so we just went ahead and popped that and continued on. There is the struggle, of course, for plates inside of Tier 3. Let me know down in the comments section if you guys agree that struggling to find plates in Tier 3 can be an issue, because I was definitely having an issue today trying to find plates inside of Tier 3. And just look at the Disciples' pathing here. Like, what is even going on? I was so confused. This is part of the reason why I find Disciple bounty contracts to be just the absolute most annoying to deal with. It's just their movement. But you can see here, now that we're hitting him in the face, the critical damage that the Kastov 74U is able to do to that Disciple bounty contract was some serious damage for sure. So I really feel good recommending this weapon to you guys. I would say make sure you're at least epic and triple pack if you're coming into Tier 3. And then I went to go visit George, but we had a player plead for help all along the way there. So of course we stopped everything we were doing, and I went straight over to the player to help and get them back on their feet, as that's something I think we should all be doing inside of our games. If you see a player pleading for help, head over, give them a hand. We all know what it's like to, you know, go down and lose all your stuff and have no one come get you. It definitely is not a good feeling. So I was awesome to be able to go do that. I went and helped him out, and then we found George, the Guardian of the Arches, and you know we had to take on George. And I wanted to show you guys, like, I usually just fire one shot into George or a couple burst fires into George to get him to kind of aggro to me and start following me around. Although today, George was being really stubborn. He did not want to come over here to his cheese spot. I feel like he's getting wise to my cheese spots. The other pathway, I had a player in the comments mention that George came around behind him and came down the backside of that pathway. So I think maybe George, the Guardian of the Arches, is getting wise to the cheese spots. I'm not too sure. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have found the same thing as well. Maybe during an update for Season 3 Reloaded, they patched some of the pathing for Mega Abominations. I'm not sure. But you can see here when George fires up his laser attack, the damage that the Kastov 74U can do at critical hits is awesome. Like, you can see the Mega Abominations health bar just evaporating down there. And I just wanted to show you guys up here. This is why I use this cheese spot. I really do find it just makes things a little bit easier for me. I've got everything coming at me from in front of me, so I can dish out damage with only having to worry about, you know, the zombies coming from one direction. My Mega Abomination, if he fires up a laser attack, it won't hit me because we're at the top of the building, so it won't go through, which is nice. And he'll just kind of hang out there, which lets you do the damage to him. And you can see we're just about halfway through George's health bar here, and he's just standing there, and I'm just getting critical shots on George's mouth without him even firing up his laser attack, and it was doing some serious work. And you can see the struggle to maintain my health here with the no armor plate issue I was having on this run today inside of tier 3. Holy smokes, I was having problems getting to armor plates, that's for sure. And then I just about called in my jug suit, which I thought about, and I was like, I don't really need to do that, so let's not do that. I like to try and save those for, you know, dire emergency situations, or if we get, you know, 2 or 3 Mega Abominations in an area when we got a bounty contract. That's when I like to use my jug suit. Here's a tier 3 disciple that decided to come up and join the fight, and we got out of there because it was just getting to be too many zombies coming at that way. And also George wasn't firing up his laser attack for me, so I wanted to try and switch positions to see if I could get him to fire up his laser attack for me a little bit more, so that we could do, you know, some more damage, critical damage to George, because he just wasn't cooperating today. And so I moved over here to the other cheese spot in the pathway, and I noticed, just like the person said in the comments, they were coming in from behind me, which was new. I hadn't seen that before. So we went back over to our other cheese spot by the platform, and a player came by, and their dog was distracting George, and I wanted to save their dog because I feel bad when you bring in your dog and it gets wrecked by either a disciple or a Mega Abomination doing that. So we got up George, fired up his last laser attack right there, and we finished him off, which was truly awesome to see. So definitely something, is the Kastov 74U assault rifle from MW2 going to be a viable weapon for you guys to use inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games? Yes, I definitely think so. I do believe that you would want to be running this weapon at either epic rarity or legendary if you're heading into the higher threat levels. Inside of tier 1, all you're going to need is white and pack-a-punched, and you should be just fine for doing that. Now, we had another player plead for help inside of tier 3, and when I went to go get them up, there was just way too much zombies around, way too much riffraff. I didn't have the plates, and I was at a decoy, so I didn't have an opportunity to revive the player, but there was another team coming to get him. So I figured, you know what, let's call in my jug suit and we'll clear out the riffraff for the other team so they can go ahead and get this player up. So anything I can do to help out, I'm all for that, and I thought I would just try and make things a little bit of an easier work for the team that was trying to revive that player over there. You know, just help out as much as we can, right? I've got the jug suit. I thought it would be useful to get. I know what it's like to go down in tier 3. His location there, I felt like he might have visited Pack-a-Punch and then just taking it down from the, you know, visiting Pack-a-Punch and all the zombies that can swarm you there. So feels good to help out players, and I feel like we should all be doing that inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games, as there is no PvP. So let's all work together as a community, help each other out, and get things done inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games for sure. So the last thing to do before I headed out was to go off and visit the buy station inside of tier 3, replace my Juggernaut suit that I'd used, and then it was time to head out and get to an exfil as we were running out of time on the map. So we went and pinged our exfil and made our way out. Now, we did pick up 2 schematics today during my run, and I was very happy to announce that I was able to give them away to a player today on the helicopter, although I'm not sure if he picked up both of them in time. I noticed he got one, and then I was off the chopper helicopter exfilled, so I don't know if he picked up both, but it feels good to help each other out for sure. And as always, at the end of my video, we will show you guys guys the weapon build I used for today on the Kastov 74U. So here it is with my exoskeleton blueprint I used. So let me know down in the comments if you guys have any changes to the weapon build that we can all use to have ourselves just an absolutely amazing AK or Kastov 74U build to run inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.